What's up guys, Romsicle here, and today we are doing the ultimate crystal keyboard build featuring the LV100 crystal, and I hope you guys enjoy the build log. So what makes this keyboard special is that it's a 75% gasket mount keyboard with a full-on transparent acrylic housing to emphasize the plate of the board. With this keyboard we have a mad nice acrylic top housing with a brass plate being the center of it all, and since it is a gasket mount board, you get these protrusions on the side to help isolate the PCB. We also get some dense foam for better acoustics, and this is the PCB. It's hot swappable with south-facing switches and white LEDs. And lastly, we have a hefty acrylic bottom housing that's aesthetically pleasing and has a bit of extra weight added to it by the brass weight on the bottom, and it also comes with a brass USB-C housing. I could admire this case all day, but let's get into the glassy build already. So the first thing that we have to do is replace the stabilizers. The board comes with PCB clip-on stabs that are pretty nice, but for this glassy build, we obviously have to go with some Zeal stabilizers lubed with Krytox 205 grade 0. And as per usual, we gotta put a switch in and listen for stab rattle, and if everything sounds crisp, we can move on. For the housing, this board doesn't use traditional pour-on foam, but instead uses these rubber rods that surround the entire keyboard. There sure are a lot of these rubber pieces all around to make sure the plate stays nice and snug. It doesn't give as much flex as a Keychron Q1 per se, but it's still flexible once the keyboard's fully built. So at this point you might be thinking, okay, it's finally time to build the keyboard, right? But not so fast. To be honest, I really like using a brass plate thanks to its stiffness, but I'm not a fan of the color. So I decided to buy some chrome vinyl wrap from Amazon to cover this plate up to make it a little more glassy. The wrapping process took about an hour or so, and this is the final result, and it looks absolutely amazing. And now we have an aesthetically pleasing glossy chrome plate with all the benefits of a brass plate. The finish on the other side is a little rough, but the foam and the PCB will hide all those imperfections. But now that we're satisfied, we can finally get building. So the switches I chose for this particular glassy build were obviously the Everglide Aqua Kings because they are transparent. These switches have gold springs in them, and the sound is really nice, they feel really nice, and they're perfect for both gaming and typing. And the building is just smooth sailings from here on out. We put the foam in first, then our plate, put down a couple of anchor switches here and there, and the aesthetic meter just keeps on going up as these switches fill up the plate. And this is what the keyboard looks like with the chrome plate, the clear stabilizers, and the clear switches all coming together. And now all we have to do is put the centerpiece into the bottom housing, put back on the top acrylic housing, and we are 99% there. And just look at this piece of work. Absolutely stunning, and you know that chrome plate made this board even more luxurious than it already is. If I had kept the brass plate, it would have totally ruined it. And now let's move on to the keycaps, and I had two options in mind. We have the G-Skill Crystal Crown keycaps and the Razer Phantom keycaps. Now the Crystal Crown keycaps are obviously the best choice here because of the transparent sides, but the reason why I wanted the Phantom keycaps was because the home row of this keyboard isn't standard and the Crystal Crown does not officially support it. And it was also because I thought the Phantom keycaps were going to be transparent, but I realized I was the idiot when they arrived in the mail. But seriously, am I the only one who thought these keycaps were going to be transparent? Like, it's borderline false marketing to have a picture like this only to give you some over-glorified pudding keycaps. But somehow, someway, the Crystal Crown keycaps totally worked. Because of how transparent and mirror-like the keyboard is now, the keycaps just look like they're floating in the air and the aesthetics are just on point. You can barely see the gaps between the switches, and I'm so glad this keycap set works with this keyboard so well. This keyboard also has white LEDs on top with RGB underglow on the bottom for extra flair, not to mention a white coiled cable, and it's also QMK compatible too. And this is the final product. LV100 crystal with Zeal stabilizers, Everglide Aqua Kings, chrome vinyl wrap, and G-Skill Crystal Crown keycaps to finish the entire build. I honestly haven't had this much fun building a keyboard in a very long time, and the visuals and sound are totally worth it. However, if I could go back and do it again, I would not have pre-drilled the holes in the plate. I had no idea these holes didn't do anything, so if I have the time, I'll probably go back and rewrap the entire plates because these holes are actually really annoying to look at. But that's been it. Thanks for watching and let me know what you guys think about this board, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.